Hi guys, Scatlink here. Welcome to my modding showcasing sub-series, Hats Off to You, a series of which we try out community-created hats, costumes, functions, singular levels, full chapters, or time rifts created by the Hat in Time fan community via the Steam Workshop. This will also include any challenge roads of which will have their own video dedicated to earning ourselves a trophy, of which would otherwise be permanently missed. I'm free! I'm free! Haha! Welcome to Summer 2026. Summer Live event. It's the same as 2025. Let's check the map. Now, unfortunately, even with Stamp Event Saver mod active, it doesn't save your stamps if you roll into the rerun of the event, if that makes sense. When the event officially begins again, it still forces a wipe. But you can still access the events outside of the events, and the only problem is because of the level system. Of course, that causes the problem. So that's the only incompatibility. I did have all of this clear before the event started again. But if you want to correlate, these last 4 levels at the very least are all the same. It's all the same. I tell you, going back 3 levels, Triple Snatcher, it's the same. These are all the same repeats. There is nothing new added to the summer event in the tag for the event in the Steam Workshop, and there are no added items. There is no added mods, there's no changes. If certain levels do have changes, then I will leave those as pinned comments in the respective videos for any changes, and I will cover them at a later point when the levels do come up eventually once again. And I will make addendum videos when necessary, but for now, there's no changes. I don't need to spend the entirety of July playing this. In fact, there wasn't even an announcement of when it started. It was the 7th of July. And some people were saying that they were playing through it and having a good time. And I'm like, I'm just waiting for the challenge road to drop on the 7th. What do you mean it started? No one's announced anything, because I was waiting for the announcement. Nothing happened. Haven't booted up the game since then. I booted up the game and the game said, hey, the summer event is live. So there was no fanfare. There was no announcement. It just kind of started again because there was no changes made. It did not need another expansion, so I am very happy about this. Get to level 33, and you will have the final newly added mod that has yet to have appeared for the first time, and every 3 levels there's a boss fight. You literally need to go from level 22 or 21 to level 33 just for bosses, and maybe a few new levels. I've covered it all in my videos. I don't need to do it again. I'm just so happy about that. Not that I don't want to be covering more content on a game that I absolutely love to death, but every summer it's basically been full send, do it. And I barely had a week left to cover everything. It was that insane. The winter event needs an expansion. At least one. But I don't want another leveling system. Because as we've noted already, it kind of breaks the saving the stamps when the event starts again. Because I did actually use the code to clear all these maps again, but there's no changes. I've gone back to my videos, I've gone through, then there's no changes. All the levels are the same, including the repeats, at least for me, for my own Steam ID, because it uses that to change the order of certain things. But there's no additions, so there's no worries about that. However, we do have a challenge road, which is why we're actually here today. So I've put on a bunch of summer stuff just so we fit the theme. But this actually doesn't fit the theme, and again, we've got a broken thumbnail here. So I will read that in the all levels part of the menu, because I don't know why it breaks on the challenge road menu. That's a bit weird. Maybe it's because it's ever so slightly different scaling, but I don't see why that would be a problem. Anyway, let's cover the levels, of which I may have to mute the music, or at least make it super quiet with distortions for this, because the name of the music is the name of the level, the Elegy of the Dynast by Ducktooth. I believe it was only a slight change. Something, somewhere, changed ever so slightly. In my current state, I'm not a god, but I know. Perhaps I only feel this way because everything has fallen into place. And music of the same name is composed by Yoshisa Hirano. And I think that's a Hunter X music, from what I tried looking up. I'm not familiar with that manga/anime series. I think it's an anime series at the very least. So yeah, I might have to actually mute that or distort it. So apologies for that. But it does sound like very classical music, which I initially thought that's what it was. And considering it's got like these Chinese/Japanese, Asian kind of like play pieces, I thought that was part of the theme. Well, it's definitely the theme for the level, and it's on a nice sunset backdrop, so it's very ethereal. Time Rift Rotation by Peekaboo. That wasn't a stutter, that's how it's spelt. Just a short little time rift. I made that emphasize moving platforms, hope you like it. This is a very short one. Probably the shortest of this challenge road. And here we are, springing about the Blue Time Rift by X-Pop once again. A blue rift focusing on all the boings this game has to offer, springs, mushrooms, cat vacuums, and more, thanks to CatCube on Discord for the lovely icon. Also credits to Momiki, and Samisha, also from Discord, for playtesting and feedback. So, let's get started. On a challenge road that has nothing to do with the summer live event. Apologise for the distorted music since I don't know if this is good. I'll upload it once to see if it's okay. If not, then I will have to distort it. But yeah, this is a very pretty level. The only problem is that the last half of the level can get really janky only due to Hat in Time's physics existing in Unreal Engine 3 that have still not been able to be fixed, because I believe it is inherently a problem to the engine that we're running on. You know, camera imploding and wall climbs not working properly. As well as the fact that when we get to near the end of the level, there's a split path that we have to take both ways, and each of those two problems are basically dedicated to those particular pathways. I am playing this very stupidly right now. I need to slow down a tad. But yeah, we have these play pieces that actually play a big part right here. You see this symbol on the floor? White and glowy? Jump on that exact same symbol, white and glowy. Now, unfortunately, I am an uncultured swine, and I do not actually know what this symbol means. But what I will do is put that on screen right now for a little bit of educational value. And it's the same symbol here, but this time in black. So we have to jump on those pieces, so only the white ones. So it's a nice little platforming puzzle. If you do not jump on the correct one, it will disappear right underneath your feet. And I didn't actually test this on this, but yeah, you can actually use the brewing hat to kind of cheese it a little bit. That's a wrong one, I think. Yes, that's a wrong one. We'll go over here. We actually had a split path here, because if we wanted to, we could have actually jumped over in this direction onto this one. So, kind of goes around the circle there, so you have a bit of a split opportunity there. But yeah, these books can be a little bit of a problem because they like to disappear. So if you want a bit of extra platforming time, use the time stop hat. I do recommend it. But if you know when the books will respawn, you can just go for a jump like that and time it incredibly well so you can just land on it. I had to jump there because one was going to disappear and the other one was going to reappear, so I timed that incredibly well. There we are. That bit's done. Now, the symbols on these ones don't actually show up until you jump onto them. They're just touch panels, land on them all, and then do it again. And no, you do not have to avoid the ones that you've already jumped onto before. You can do that. There is no penalty for it. Just jump on every single one. Because I'm going to have to actually jump on a couple to get across here. Initially, I thought that you had to do that, but you don't. So, no problem. Let's just jump for the next one and continue moving on. I'm actually going to stick on the outer edge for this one because I want to be near the middle once I hit the last of these. Reminds me of Mad Jack in DK64. Aha! Right. Got a pillar to climb up with. Careful on how you land on these platforms. The camera likes to do those weird skew with 180s. It's funny, actually, because the last half of this level actually did give me a lot of trouble. And it wasn't even the level itself. It was just because of the engine's shenanigans that were just giving me a bad time. And there's no collectibles in this level. In fact, there's no collectibles in any of the levels of this challenge road either. Only the third and final one, and it's literally within view when we start. Well, to a certain extent, if you look up. Okay, here we go. I'm going right first because this is a pain in the arse. I didn't even grab the ledge or wall climb it. Okay, cool. Great start. If you need health, you can't actually tell that there's no health here, and I believed that for quite a while. The last part of the level, going all the way through those checkpoints and all that, plenty of health. No health here. Not up there, not up there, no anywhere. And even when you respawn, you're looking here, you don't see it, it's right behind you. A little bit cheeky, I will admit. But since this is the first level of the challenge road, and I would wager being the most difficult one within the challenge road, careful with this platform, it likes to snap the camera around like that and freeze the platform when you jump on it. I don't know why. I feel like there should be an extra bubble on that particular one. That's probably the biggest blemish of the level's design inherently. But the rest of the problems on doing this similar maneuver about 5-6 times is going to be the camera imploding when you don't want it to, or snapping around very sharply. Personally, I like to let the platform that I'm jumping for be a bit more further forward like it just was with that particular set of jumps, just so I can keep sailing forward with double jumping in order to climb. But some of these aren't spaced the same. Like, if I were able to trick a jump, I could probably hit those other bubbles. But these ones look like it's a bit of a stretch, so I want to go now, so I can try and go for that platform over here and grab the ledge. Did not grab the ledge, and I lived. Okay, so I didn't have to redo everything. In practice, I literally could not salvage it for the life of me. We haven't had to redo too much yet. I'm going to go now. Let's go for this platform. See, I can get pretty high there. I'll be able to jump on this pretty easily. This is the bit that gives me trouble. Because again, it looks like that it's a bit too much. Get camera snap again. What am I supposed to do in that situation when that happens? But once you get past that, it's a lot more simpler. We can just bounce on these and get over here and continue over there. However, this is yet the second time that the level design kind of tricks you on what you need to do, because if you make your way over there, you would then see on the backswing that there is an extra hook here. You can actually see it, and I will show it off when we get over there. But we want to go for this first because it makes things a heck of a lot easier. Because you see all this up here, and you're like, how do you get here? They're on light beams that just basically slide to the next one. So as long as you do a double jump lunge or a sprint lunge, you will easily make it. They do not move until you jump. So just take your time, despite how fast they actually move. And we have 3 timepiece shards to grab in order to leave. This is a bit of a stretch for jump. Definitely a double jump lunge for that one. Don't do a sprint jump. And this will take us all the way back to this point, where we can jump back down to this, where we started, in order to continue going in this way in the first place. Now, if you did go over here and use the ice panel that is coming up on the corner... By the way, I'm going to wait for a purple book. There it is. Time stop hat, again, is very useful here, in case if you're not entirely too sure if you're going to make a particular jump. That white, orange book, go through all the colours, is a bit too far away, so I'm going to stay on this red book for a little bit. And there we are, it will spawn in, so I can just barely reach that. Go for the green book that just spawned in, and we are good. If you were to take this ice panel, that will take you back to the start, but thankfully by reaching this point, an ice panel also spawned at the start, taking you back up here. Or at the very least, back over to where it converges at the top of that platforming segment, to give you the option to come back to this point, or to go up to those light rails. Thankfully, these are stacked, so we can just keep wall climb hopping up those ledges, but some of these we really do have to stretch our jumps out in order to reach. No bonk is very recommended. There we go. Now, you might see that platform off in the distance. Don't worry about that for now. We're just going to take our ice hat to bounce all the way back to the beginning. Oh, it only takes us to this point. So all the ice panels around here take you to that particular point. That's fair. Okay, I couldn't grab that. I grabbed it that time. I'm just going to be a little bit on the cheeky side here, and I'm going to bounce with it, turn the camera down, double jump, lunge, cancel my way at the floor, and there we go. So if I hit this ice panel, it'll take us back to where we just were. And now we can go for this way. So that was basically camera imploding or snapping issues. This is wall climbing issues. Sometimes the wall climb just doesn't work for me, but hopefully, since I have played this quite a few times, because of that issue, I shouldn't have it in this recording. I was about to say today, but I practiced it earlier today. So. Also, doesn't this music sound like very Scarlet and Kylam-ish from Kingdom Hearts 3? Kind of does. I mean, I say that, but again, you can't listen to it. If you type in Elegy of the Dynast, you will be able to hear it. Again, that's if I have to actually distort it or mute it, because it might not be allowed. I can't just assume that people will make streamer or recording safe versions. I mean, for maybe Twitch it'll be alright, but not for YouTube. YouTube's a little bit more pernickety with that sort of thing. But anyway, we got that time shard. That's basically the entire level right there. I didn't have any problems with that part at the very least, even though that's what gave me the most trouble initially. And then I gave up on that, went the other way, and it was like, oh, okay. So yeah, I did actually die here quite a few times. I think I lost 5 lives before I started having better luck. Obviously, grab the health before you continue if you're in the challenge road, because your health does carry over. Also, the challenge road is going to now go a lot more quicker. Elegy of the Dynast does count as a rift, so we do get a spin for this. Outside of the challenge road, at the very least. The best bud. Let's have a look at that. Okay, there is a bit of an orange tint in the hat. If I wasn't wearing this hat, I'd probably get a much more better look at this. Because that pattern looked a little bit better on the icon than it does on us right now. Maybe it's light sensitive. Break it down. And I ran straight onto the gear, and I wasn't intending to do that, but that was actually perfect. No collectibles here, we just gotta go. And this is, as I said, the shortest of this challenge road. So we just go through swimmingly, grab our time stop hat, and that's when we will climb. Double jump here to get a little bit more of a boost, and there we go. Jump for the middle, so you don't have to time stop hat here. If you really want to, then feel free. Last checkpoint level, we're already here, don't need a heal, jump through 2 gears, and we're good. You can actually land on those. I actually got a slide boost cancel there. Wasn't intended to do that, but that kind of worked. What is happening? I can't see. Am I inside the gear? Like, actually physically inside it? I think I just ended up on top of it somehow. Sure. Thanks, game! Not only did I get stuck in the gear, I literally could not move. That doesn't normally happen. What's supposed to happen is do that. There we are. Well, a little bit of shenanigans, but we got through it just the same. And I'm pretty sure that will give us a Rift Roulette spin, because I put stuff in the Rift Roulette. As long as they actually count as blue rifts. Spin! We get some colours. Yeah, we'll go with that. Why not? I like the colours better. The Fanged Fastener. Let's have a look at that. It looks the same as what I already had, but it's got more of a purple tint to it. Which I don't mind, actually. That's better for Hat Kid than Blues, personally. Because she is more of a purple, so it's like a lilac colour. I believe the Fame Fastener and the Best Bud is from the Paper Mario Origami King dies by Wiz Does Games. I haven't actually played Origami King. In fact, I haven't played any Paper Mario after the Super Paper Mario because Sticker Star sucks. And all of them had kind of the same issues. More mods based on Origami King in my hacking times, more likely than you think. In all seriousness, this adds 9 new dies based on various characters from Paper Mario and Origami King, and they can all be found in the Rift Roulette. So just adds more to the roulette effectively. And some of the colours actually look pretty good. I think one of them's got like a rainbow cape, and it gives you a mostly red suit, which is a bit different. Alright, this is not the music for this level. It's just the generic timepiece clock tower beneath the sea music. But guess what? There's a rift token there. This is the spring level. All the types of springs, but I haven't got enough height to get over there, even though it's right at the start. Urchins do not like that, so let's dodge those. And I think I have enough height now in order to actually grab that, so let's go long. Money! Loads of money! Also, I love these lamps from the Arctic Cruise. They're kind of fancy. I'll grab this because I'm here even though I don't need it. My money's not actually showing up on the screen. That's interesting. Weird. Yeah, my money counter's not on the screen. Strange. Not that I need it anyway because I can never spend it. Oh, whoops. Come on, dude. Get up there. I'm sure I say do that. Hey, do that! Bloody SpongeBob fish. Oh, bounce with it. Let's go. Whee! Right, so you saw that floor of urchins. Don't drop down because I haven't mentioned this. If you get hurt by an urchin, obviously you're going to get knocked back and fall. So we'll just blow up this crate and bounce with it. Mind the urchins on the way up. Checkpoint. Oh, boy. Okay, we've got glowy mushrooms here. I'm not a fan of this. This gives me Haboy flashbacks from Mushroom Heaven and Hell. Charge up your brewing hat as you're bouncing along. Honestly, though, I'm going to do this. Okay, I tried to lean back so I could hookshot the hook again, but it wouldn't let me. That worked. What you're supposed to do is jump on that yellow mushroom, but I just don't like that angle. If you got the health, you can just do what I did anyway. Now, this is a bit of a problem. How do I reach this? Double jump, lunge into it, and then don't touch a button, and you'll go straight to the next checkpoint. If you hold a direction, chances are you will veer off ever so slightly, and you could just go straight in the pit, not hitting that spring. Even though that's a very big spring. Haha! I got into your money stash. All the money. All the money. All the money. Well, I left dollar bills in trade, so I think that would be fair. Let's climb up these 2 pillars. You don't need to go in there at all, so you don't really need to risk getting hit by those urchins. Lunge, eh? You want me to lunge? Alright then, I'll lunge. Hey! That gives us just enough speed to make it across. Rainbow balloons from Diddy Kong Racing, probably. Alright, I'm not a fan of this jump. What we got to do is do that, climb up and not get hit by the urchins. Thankfully, you can kind of stand a little bit into them without getting hit by their hitbox. But you know how I feel about urchins, especially with the bloody urchin badge that we actually do have in our inventory, because there it is. Because of the summer event, just saying. Very evil for the modifier roulette. But that's how it be. Haha! Bounce on these, because these big springs are really not bouncing us up very well. We'll bring it around town. It just sent me down. That was rude. There's a spring there. And another bunch of mushrooms on urchins. Not only are you going to get hit, you're going to get launched and again, take full damage. Not pleasant. The kill plane is so far below, even at the lowest point in the level, that you will take fallout damage on top of urchin damage before you even respawn. It's kind of annoying. I don't even need the hook. I can just make the jump like that. Look at me. Aha! Bounce up. And there we go. We got the only Rift token in the level of the entire challenge road. And we have conquered the latest summer one. And that's all for me for this season. We get the spin. Yes, we do. We get the spin. Ooh. That's a nice jacket. Gib. Not that we want to be wearing the drip, considering we'll be dripping with sweat in this weather. But hey-ho, we're going to put it on. Behold the drip. Which, by the way, comes with... which one is it? Drip pose! There we go. It's like the meme, because it is. Behold the drip by Dark X Wolf 17. Version when the imposter is sus, apparently. Get yourself some drip. This mod comes with a new outfit and emote, and we found it in the Rift Roulette. You know, going through this level outside the challenge road, particular music came up, but I don't think I turned that off, so I need to do that before I end this video, or after I end this video. Anyways, we have more spins. I've not been liking the dies I've been getting so far, I'm not going to lie to you. But this one might be better. Person Bob Skiname. I think this might be themed off of something. Well, we can see it here at the very least. Ah! Now there we go, that screams spring. The AC Bob Die by Mashu Careerlight. Bob Die for Hat Kid and Bo Kid. And there we go. That is Challenge Road 77. Oh boy, it just never ends, does it? Well, at least the summer live event has ended for me in terms of covering anything new. I did have a couple of amendments last time because the event map save, event stamp saver, as well as going back to a couple of levels because I missed a couple of things, but of course they were mentioned. Even though I made them pin comments, I said I would go back to them. But obviously, stamp progress has reset, and even though I don't have the ability to be able to just use the console plus commands to skip it and just fill the map out again, which I want to do just so I know that it's there, even though I don't need to worry about it really. Some other people may not be able to do some of the early ones because there's no like codes that I am aware of to skip those, and some people may also be experiencing it for the first time, so I may do a couple of live streams maybe, not that I need to, but I might do maybe one just to do Vanessa's Curse, perhaps, just for old time's sake. People can then get their points, use their stickers, and we'll just clear out the beginning part of the map and all that. Because even though, as I've said already, that I'm able to, you know, just, that's the wrong one, be here, because I'm already at level 33, all the other maps, even if they're not full anymore, are already cleared, because otherwise I would not be able to get to this point in the first place. Because, you know, I full cleared this map, because we ended with every boss at once. But I can't go any further unless I do actually complete everything on this map for at least the first time. So, for those at the very start, I might do a live stream to help those guys out. It's just a thought, but I don't need to do so. I'm mostly here for the challenge roads at the moment, because since there's no new mods actually being showcased in this live event, it gives me a break, honestly. So I'm actually kind of thankful for it. And that's why I have a Pikmin squared randomizer going on instead. So we actually have some things happening at the moment. Not only that, but we also have a live stream of Power World on the Nerd Herd that's going on right now. So that's probably actually happened after I've edited this video. But still check that out as well. And we just recently also finished our 5-year anniversary of the Nerd Herd channel's existence with an archipelago randomizer that just, you know, includes 7 of us just playing games that all mixed into one event. So please check those content out. And if you do need any assistance on the Summer Live event at all, please check out the plethora of videos, at least the latest ones, because I cover everything in order throughout those 13 videos. Yeah, there was a lot to cover. And even though most of that's scripted and it skips a lot of stuff over because I've already covered it even before then in past challenge roads and the previous iterations of the Summer Live event, I still audibly cover it. But yeah, it's because it kept expanding, it was getting to be a bit messy. So please check them out if you're struggling on any level. Just look for the level specifically, and I would have covered it in full. But with that, I'll see you guys next time for whatever else we do on A Hat in Time. I've got to fix my remixes.